E-Invoice compliance. A brief note. Rule 48 of CGST Rule 2017 provides for the manner of issuance of invoice. Subrule 1 of 48 state that the invoice should be raised in triplicate on supply of goods, and as per Subrule 2, the invoice should be raised in duplicate on supply of service. On 13th of December 2019, Subrule 4, 5 and 6 was inserted to Rule 48 providing the additional condition for the manner of issuance of invoice. Subrule 4 states that such class of registered person shall raise an invoice after obtaining an invoice reference number by uploading information contained on the invoice on the Common Goods and Service Tax electronic portal in such manner and subject to condition and restriction. Every invoice issued by a person to whom Subrule 4 applies, that is the person who is required to generate invoice reference number in any manner if he is issuing the invoice other than the manner specified, that is if he is not generating invoice reference number, then the invoice shall not be treated as an invoice. So the taxpayer who is falling under this e-invoice compliance, if he is not generating that, then that invoice shall not be treated as an invoice. And to whoever this subrule 4 applies, the provision of subrule 1 and 2 shall not be applicable. And subrule 1 and 2 uh, provides that the invoice shall be prepared in triplicate in case of supply of goods, and subrule 2 provides that the invoice shall be generated in duplicate in case of supply of service. The selected class of registered person who meet the compliance of Rule 4 are not required to fulfill the requirement of 1 and 2. Invoice need not be prepared in triplicate or duplicate on the supply of goods or services as the case may be. Selected class of registered person. CVS has notified the class of registered person via notification 70 2019 that shall be generating an invoice reference number. Initially, the limit was set as 100 crore and it was set to be effective from 1st of April 2020. Thereafter, this notification was superseded and a notification dated 21st of March 2020, 13 of 2020 was issued, where the implementation date was 1st of October 2020 for e-invoice, and the initial turnover was kept as threshold limit was kept as 500 crore. And on 1st of January 2021, the limit was reduced to 100 crore, and thereafter to 50 crore on 1st of April 2020. Thereafter, after a 1 year gap, 1st of April 2022, the limit was reduced to 20 crore, and then on 1st of October 2022, it was brought down to 10 crore. And in August 2023, the limit is 5 crore. So the taxpayer whose turnover is more than 5 crore have to follow this e-invoice process. Tabular wise threshold limit and the notification and the effective date is given. Few important points regarding e-invoice. Threshold limit, the aggregate value of all taxable supplies, exempt supply, export of goods or services, interstate supply of person having the same PAN, that is stock transfer, shall be considered for the purpose of aggregate turnover calculation, and based on that the person will decide whether the amount is above 5 crore or not. For the in the aggregate turnover, following shall be excluded: value of inward supply on which RCM is applicable, all taxes, IGST, CGST, SGST, and UTGST. Invoice reference number, it is 64 character hash algorithm containing GSTN of supplier, invoice reference number, document type and financial year. QR code reference consists of GSTN of supplier, of buyer, invoice number, date, value, number, HSN, and unique IRN hash. Applicability of e-invoice is on B2B invoices, export invoices, credit note and debit note. Non-applicability is on B2C, it is not applicable, bill of entry not applicable, SES, insurance or banking company, goods transport agency, supplier of passenger transport service, supplier of service by way of transmission, submission to exhibition of cinematography film in multiplex screen, mode of generation of invoice through GST system. Small taxpayer can generate through NIC. API based facilities also there. Cancellation of invoice IRN generated on portal can be cancelled within 24 hours. IRN cannot be cancelled if the valid e-way will exist for that IRN. For that purpose, e-way will has to be cancelled first and then IRN. Once e-invoice is cancelled, then one more IRN cannot be generated on the same invoice number. This you can read this article in detail under the category article e-invoicing in online tax update. Thank you.